Darling, forever, I would trade it for your love, your joy, forever,
Phone poppy, and she call me Young Poppy. That's my little shawty. She get thicky in the body. She got hottie toddy when she make it wet for me. Got that body on you, girl. You know I wanna play some hide and seek. You're someone that I wanna meet. You're someone that I wanna see. You're someone that I wanna see. And I got every idea in mind to get you poppin'. She said she just wants some liquor, so just stop it. I don't pop no pills or do none of that extra. I be chillin', smoking ganja with my niggas. I got so much, so many dreams, so many things to hold up. So many things on my mind. So many things, so let's shine.
Welcome back to Unrestricted Free Agent. I'm your host, Jonathan Ojo. I'm here with Mr. Michael Baez, Michael Low with the bread, the boy. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Obviously, you see I ain't got the Dewey on because I got a haircut. Mike got the Dewey on because maybe it's not looking right. I don't know. But y'all let me know how you're feeling. Like I said, please go like, subscribe, everything you got to do. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, and as usual, this podcast is for the basketball purists, for everyone with love for the game. Welcome back. And Mike, just tell them a little bit about yourself and your playing career. As I said, if you forget anything, we got the paper right here, so just let us know what you're feeling.
As you said, I'm Mike Low with the bread, CLB, that's me. I got a lot of accolades, I like to be humble, but, I did a lot as far as basketball. In high school, I was pretty good. I was ranked top 20 in the state. My freshman year, I was all freshman team, all conference. We went to the second round of the tournament, first time we had been there for my school, Wingate University, in about 3-4 years. My sophomore year, all conference again. Went to Lynn. I was all conference again. Hey, a lot of people can't say that, man. That's all conference, two different conferences. That's
all
big.
Conference again.
Yeah. I was all region. I'm trying to think what else I got. All region, all NABC, 1,000-point scorer. That's pretty much all I could think of as far as my accolades.
You did it a little humble. I'm going to take over from here, so as usual. So, averaged 19.9 points per game during his senior season at United Christian Academy. He said it was wrong, so I don't know if it was Max Preps or whoever did the stats for that, but he said he averaged 30, so we're going to go with that, averaged 30. 5.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists. So 17.4 points, 5.8 rebounds throughout his whole high school career. All SAC freshman team honors at Wingate. All SAC tournament team, appeared in 33 games, 27 starts. That's tough. Scored in double figures 23 times as a freshman, 6 double-doubles, scored in double figures 14 of the last 15 games, including all 5 postseason games. Going again, all South Atlantic Conference first team. Again, second season at Wingate, played in all 31 games, 28 starts, led the Bulldogs in scoring, 15.7 points per game, ranked second on the squad with 6.9 boards, 46 from the field, 44 triples in the year, 1.7 assists per game. That's the weak one. I said that one. I don't know about that one. Ranked second on the team with 28 steals. All right, they're gassing now. They're crazy right now.
I lock up, man.
Scored in double figures in all but 4 games, 6 double-doubles, career high 30 against Catawba. Didn't your brother play there?
Yeah, that's a family friend. My boy,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He played pretty much your brother. Yeah. Again, played all 27 games, started in 20.9 minutes. We're going over to Lynn right now. So 20.9 minutes per game as a 6-man. This is junior year. Fourth leading scorer, 10.3 points per game, 43% from the field, 37 for 3. Led the team in free throws made and attempted per game. Second on the team in free throw percentage, and second on the team in rebounds. Then we go into your bag. This is your bag season, senior year. Averaged 19.6 rebounds, shot 40% from 3. Made the Sweet 16 there, ranked in the country. Second team All-South region, NABC All-District second team, All-SSC, and as I said, again, they were ranked in the country. So once again, let's first talk about the time you had, because you had an interesting journey going from Wingate. So at Wingate, you were kind of the man going into college. once again, you had all the shots you wanted pretty much. Again, I didn't watch the games, but that's what it seemed like. But pretty much they deferred to you. All right, then you go to Lynn. You start off your junior year being sixth man, and then your senior year, you the man again. And I mean, you kind of more scoring option. Obviously, shout out to Jamal Palmer. You kind of had like a duo tandem, but it was pretty much your show to run.
Yeah.
So tell me about just the transition and just what that was for your confidence. You know, when you kind of figure out that you had to be kind of that man again, and how was it going from that to the sixth man back to the man again?
I mean, it was a rough journey for sure. You know, your whole life, you go from one thing and then you got to adjust to something else. You know, my entire life, I was that dude, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I transferred to Lynn, and like I said, like you said, all due respect to Jamal Palmer, because, you know, Jamal's cold. So it was his team at that time, and, you know, I had to kind of learn to take that back seat, and I had to kind of earn it as far as my whole life. It's just been given to me because I was just like that, like just realistically. And I had to learn how to coexist with other stars because I had never really played with other stars before. And, you know, he had been there, he put his time in, you know, he's a hometown hero, all that. So I had to do that, and it was rough for sure. But when I was able to grow up as a person and as a man, understand that's what that team needed at that time for the long run, then it was an easy transition, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What do you think prepared you for that? I know a lot of people, even for me growing up and playing throughout, I feel like that junior year off season is like the most important one of your career. Yeah. And how was that going from your junior season to your senior season? And I don't know if Coach, you know, Price told you like, hey, this year, like, we're gonna need you to do this, or if it was even, you feel me, like written out for you. I feel like most players, they kind of make the switch in their head. But like, how was that going from, like I said, your junior to senior season and kind of making that switch? So you know what, like last season I was a sixth man. I know what my role was. It was clearly defined, and then this year it's kind of like go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I had to learn from the bottom up, and it said I averaged 10 that year. Yeah. And I'd say the first 13, 14 games, I didn't play over like 7 minutes. So it just kind of threw me out there and was like, yo, you got to do this and you got to be this dude. And I was coming off the bench putting 17, 18, 20 up. I think you coached against us that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I had to kind of know what I was good at and know what I could do. And that was just a conversation that we had is, yo, this year you're going to be this option off the bench and you're going to do this, but next year you got to take that next step.
Yeah, that
it
next
needs
leap,
to be neck and neck, and that's what was the biggest thing for me. And it was just learning how to go from, all right, you had to build this foundation to, all right, now it's time to go back to being that dude again. And, you know, I picked it up easily good with a lot of help, but it was an easy switch. You know, I've already been there already, so I already know what to do.
And the other question, 'cause I feel like a lot of players struggle with this, the real question is, was the option there to go D1? I know you had a great EYBL kind of year, senior year and all that stuff, but was the option there to go D1? And if so, like, why did you not go D1? I feel like a lot of players go for the name, just for the school title, and I feel like you found your fit in all the schools you played for. Yeah. I feel like that, and that's very important because you don't want to go to a school that's above your talent level and get buried on the bench. But I know even as a player, like, that's humble because you want to play at the highest level.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I mean, the option was definitely there to go D1. Like I said, I was ranked top 20 in my state, you know, a 2015 class, but we had some big names in that class.
Yeah,
you know? We had Luke May, C.J. Bryce. I think Dennis Smith was 2016 at that time. We had a lot of big names in that class. So I had the option to go D1. I had, I'd say, 20, 25 Division I offers, but my grades, you know, it's the story of every athlete, bro. You know, my grades a little down, my SAT scores a little down, and I actually ended up qualifying, but you know, Division I programs, they sign their players in November.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't,
early.
Yeah, I didn't finish.
Early.
I didn't qualify until it was already like that last SAT. So like, you know, they already found it. And at that time, I was gonna go to junior college or I was gonna go prep school, but my grandfather had got real sick. So I actually went to Wingate, I'm from Charlotte. So Wingate was 40 minutes from my house so I could visit my grandfather. Yeah. Then I had that same opportunity again when I had left, to go to Lynn. I was actually going to go to Florida Gulf Coast, and I ended up getting that same call again. I was going to Lynn and Florida Gulf Coast to visit both. I was going to end up committing to Florida Gulf Coast at that time. I ended up getting a call from Florida Gulf Coast as I'm on my visit to Lynn and saying, you know, you didn't qualify again because you had to have a 2-3 transfer. Had a 2-2, started slacking off when I knew I was going to transfer, you know, shot myself in the foot, but you know how it go. And I ended up going to Division II route, which I have no complaints about at all. Like,
that's how most people say. They got no regrets.
I got no regrets, especially in the SSC. It's one of the best Division II conferences in the nation. So I'm grateful I did it. Everything happens for a reason. I still got to go to my end goals, so it is. But That's just always a little bit in the back of your mind.
I was gonna say, I know you always think about it,
of
like, you
course,
know what I'm saying?
I mean, let's be honest. You see guys you play with all the time. Some of them go D1. You like, damn, I've been killing this guy for years. I could do this.
I was about to say,
that.
comparison to Thief of the Joy, but
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I should be playing on that
Exactly.
level.
I know, and I know I could have been very successful at that level, but everything happens for a reason. So
Of course. And that's good that you kind of, like I said, you made that switch. I think a lot of players, like I said, they either go to the wrong level, overestimating their abilities, not because they can't get to that level, but because it's going to be such growing pains and kind of a transition that they were better off going to a lower level, getting their foot in the door, kind of playing, getting that confidence. Because if you go D1 and you're buried in the bench, man, that confidence gets stripped real quick.
Yeah.
You can go through 2 seasons not playing, and you know what I'm saying, now you questioning your own ability as a player. So just you finding your niche and knowing you can kill at whatever level, but I'd rather excel at this level.
I don't even know if you know Kyron McClure.
Yeah.
Played at St. Leo. Was one of my close friends. We played on the same high school team.
Yeah.
For 2 years. He did that same thing. We had the same conversation. He went to Navy. He talked to me. They buried him at the end of the bench, and I said, "You went D2, so what's your advice?" And I'm like, you come down here somewhere where you can be that dude. Like, talent's going to get.
And he had an amazing career. Shameless plug. Shout out Kyron McClure. He overseas right now too. I think he's in Germany, but shout out to him. So the next question is, after that, you went to play overseas. And again, we taught, and I always got to tell you, and I told you this before, you're one of the reasons why I started this podcast because of our conversation that we had.
Yep.
So just tell, the viewers about just the transition between overseas and college and just how hard of an adjustment it is, and also, how strong of a person you have to be kind of handle the adjustment.
Well, that's one hell of an adjustment, bro. That's no bullshit. That's nothing to play around with. That overseas life is different.
100%.
It's
100%.
different. It's lonely. It's nerve-wracking. You got a lot of stuff that goes wrong, and realistically, that's the first side of basketball and of your whole life where that shit is a business. Bro.
I swear, that's why I said on episode 1. I'm telling you.
There's no emotions in that shit at all. Like, as you say, I have been known as being, cold my whole life. I go over there, I'm just another dude out there.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got drafted when I first got out. I got drafted. I had a real good agent. Shout out to my dog Matt, man. He's a plug. I had a good agent. I did a big like pro day at Baylor. I had everything going for me. I got drafted 3rd overall in the Dominican draft out of like 200 prospects, and they promise you this, they tell you this,
selling dreams.
You gonna be
That's
that.
a business in
This
itself.
gonna be your team. I ain't play over 5 minutes the whole time I was there, and they was paying me too. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, you know what? I'll just ride the bench, whatever. But what I realized there is it's like you said, it's just completely different. Like, I'm real big on interpersonal relationships. Like
100%.
Coach Price was my coach at Lynn. Coach Price is like one of my best friends, and he's 40 years older than me. Like, we have a real good relationship. And you go over there, and you just another body.
Yeah, they don't care about building that.
Man, the first time I went to DR, bro, I got released. We
Yeah.
Though I got released at 3:00 in the morning, bro. I went to practice.
No respect for your time,
that
bro.
Game. They called me, knocking on my door at 3 in the morning. Yo, your flight's out at 9. Have your bags done. Nothing. No call, no nothing. Just you out. Boom. Did that shit again. Went to Canada. Same thing. Cold. Doing everybody up in the little workouts, killing everybody.
Don't
I was
matter.
Practicing, boom. Ended up separating my calf like I was nothing. Yo, you out. Boom. Again. I just been through that so many times, bro. It's just such a hard business, man. And I always tell people, bro, I talk to them all the time. Christian Peavy.
Yeah. That's the right now.
First of all, shout out my dog, because my man's is cold. Cold.
He gonna I don't know what camera to look at.
Whichever
all
one,
of them,
whichever one y'all need to know, he's cold. He gonna be up there. But I tell him all the time, bro, you gotta know what you want and be all in on that.
That's what I tell everybody all the time.
It's just so hard, bro. Just mentally, like emotionally, everything, bro. Like, you have to be, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And at that time, I did it because so many people told me I should do it.
Yeah. And
somebody said, oh, you do this. And then I talked to Coach Price. I want to coach basketball. That's what I always wanted to do. So when Coach Price told me to do it, everybody told me, I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm already here now, so I might as well do it. And it's just, I'm glad I did it because that experience taught me a lot.
I always tell people, if you got a chance to do it, you always take it.
Of course, it shaped me as a man, but it was rough, man. It was really, really rough.
All right, so tell me, and again, this is always a funny question because I feel like depending on where you played, there's always a few names that come up. But tell me the coldest player you played against, and then we're going to elaborate, even if they're in the league now, if they're out of the league, because like I said, the coldest players don't always make the league. But tell me the coldest player you played against, and tell me when you knew you were, you feel me, that dude. And then also when you knew, like I said, the league was different. Because once you played against, you feel me, some people in the league, you always realize like it's a different level. Like there's levels, like high college players, and then the league is just different. So tell me, you feel me, the coldest player you played against, when you knew you were that dude, and then when you knew that there's levels to it.
All right. So I played against a lot of cold dudes.
I feel like I know who you're going to say because you told me about this.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I gotta elaborate first on
Hey,
show
shout
my
out to him.
Hey, shout out to him, bro, because he's a hood legend too. But I think, I don't know, I played UYBL in 2015.
Yeah.
Well, my graduate class was 2015. So you got to think that class was Malik Monk.
Yeah.
They had Tatum. They had
He on my Lakers now. Shout out to him.
Malik Newman. You know, they
Also
had
cold. My homie played against him in high school.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. De'Aaron Fox was in that class. Yeah. But the coldest dude that I personally ever played against was Antonio Blakeney, bro.
Tell him how much they gave.
Hey.
Tell him how much they gave you.
Hey, I don't tell nobody this, bro. So y'all gonna get this exclusive right here, bro. I used to be a defender back in the day. This man Antonio Blakeney put 52 points on my head, and I asked for a switch. I said, Coach, I don't think it's working. He said, you ain't going nowhere. I said, 52 points on my head, bro, straight.
And it's funny because we can laugh about that because, like, you feel me? The average person at home would be like, God damn, he put 52 on your head. But, like, you got to understand, like, bro, these dudes is different. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
different.
even no, like.
No, at that point, I had no idea. So, you know, I'm young. You know, at that time,
Yeah.
I was 16, 17. I had no idea what a 3-level score was.
Exactly. I swear.
And
I swear.
That man was a 3-level score. You take away the 3 he was in the mid-range. You take away the mid-range, he all the way to the cup, or he just you couldn't guard him, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
you could not. On top of the athleticism that he had, bro, he was a freak, bro.
So he was a freak in high school.
Yeah,
he
he was a
killed
freak.
the circuit.
Yeah, he was a freak.
Killed the circuit.
Yeah.
So then, again, elaborate after giving him some praise about when you knew kind of you made that jump. Because, again, I feel like every player has that switch where you go from being, you know what, like, I could be pretty good, and you're like, okay, like, all right, I'm him now.
Well, when I first got to high school, you know, I was like, you know, I'm that dude. I played varsity as a freshman. You know, I did all that. That's when I first started playing, like, big AAU and stuff like that. But the ironic story about what I just said about Antonio Blakeney was that's when I started getting my praise was that game. Because that was right around the time.
That's crazy. The game you got 52 put on your head, they was like, hey,
bro,
hey, that boy a dog.
Yeah, they wrote a big ass article. I had like 25 and 10 or something like that game, and you know, they was like, they was writing an article talking about something. He did a great job defense. This motherfucker had 52. What are you doing? What are you talking about, bro? And they writing an article about me saying, oh, we never heard of him, blah blah blah, all this, and you know, that's when I really took off. Like I had like local interests, you know, Division I, majors like when I was in high school, UNC Charlotte, East Carolina, stuff like that. But that UYBL season is where I really took off, and that game was the one that really put me out there. Another shout out to another dude that's cold. He in the league now too, Alonzo Trier.
Yeah. Oh, hey, no.
He was 2015 too.
He's crazy.
This man averaged 37 points a game. My UYBL.
He's freaking crazy though. Like.
Yeah.
But again, and that's the other thing, kind of part of this podcast. Like I feel like it's crazy because the average person, like I said, they just have no idea. Like they have no clue.
No idea. They look
like,
at Alonzo Trier, he don't get no minutes. Oh, he trash. You don't even know.
And they have zero clue. Like I tell people all the time. Like I remember my junior year of high school, they had a pro AM at Suncoast, which was the high school I played at. And this was when I kind of first saw like the levels of everything. And it's crazy because this person is not even in the league. He didn't play for a while, but I saw this person. He was the coldest person ever to me. So this was like a pro AM. They had like Joe Johnson, like a bunch of people in there, Dominique Jones, like, and I'm over here. This was before he even went to Kansas. Josh Selby came.
Oh, Josh Selby cold.
Bro, and gave the ugliest 55 I've ever seen in my life. And I remember I was doing the tickets, and I'm doing the tickets. I literally let everybody in for free because I turned my chair completely, and I'm looking with my mouth dropped open like, bro, this junk don't make no sense, dog. Like, and I want to say that's when I knew the level was different. I feel like everybody finds themselves. Like I found myself like sophomore going to junior year, and it was like, okay, like I'm again, like I said, like I'm him now. But like when I saw that, I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. No, there's levels.
Yeah, bro. I was like, yo, listen, like I was still in high school, so obviously I wasn't in college. I wasn't my fully formed self yet. But I saw that man. I'm talking about logo shots, Hezo pulls. He's windmilling in traffic. Yeah. And I was like, oh nah. I I was like, oh nah.
When I really knew that there was different levels to this is I used to play in the Charlotte Pro-Am every summer when
Yeah,
I was in high
yeah.
school. Like, I had my own team in the Pro-Am and everything. Shout out to my dog, Julian Harrington. He was a plug for that, man. He another Wingate legend, played in the league. But he put us in the team. And when I knew that there was levels was Anthony Morrow.
Ooh, hey.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you. So Anthony Morrow, you know, that's like God in Charlotte, bro.
I
Like,
bet.
he
Yeah.
live in
Hometown
Charlotte,
legend,
and
100%.
we used to go at it every summer. This is when I was a kid. Like, I was still in high school, and we used to go back and forth. And my pops, I don't know if you ever met my pops, but
No, I haven't. I'm still waiting for that. I
Yeah,
met
yeah.
your mom, but yeah.
he a psycho, bro. So you know he one of those dudes. My son is LeBron. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm
Shout out to all the present fathers. We need that. We need that.
My dad is LeVar Ball without the camera. You know what I'm saying? So like, I knew that there was levels when I'm talking shit to Anthony Morrow. He talking shit back to me. Blah blah. My dad's talking shit to him to the stands. We going back and forth in the Pro-Am. He goes to me, yo, you know you fucked up, right? I said, what you mean? He go, your dad just dug your grave. I go, oh shit. Gave me a little pat on the butt, yo. Dog, this man looked like 86 Jordan, bro. I never seen no shit like that, bro. And me and Anthony Morrow, we cool, you know what I'm saying? He around Charlotte, so I told him, I was like, yo, I needed that for real though. But that's how I knew
That
that
took
there
a
was
wake-up
levels.
call, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, you go around living on cloud nine, you think you the coldest in your city, whatever.
Exactly.
And you realize it's a big world out there, man.
And Anthony Morrow cold, but you know what I'm saying? He ain't putting up no 40 balls in the league, but that just lets you know that.
I think he got a 50-point game,
in
though.
OKC, I think.
Yeah, he got a 50-point game.
That just lets you know, bro.
Me and my teammates always talk about the worst players to ever score 50 in the league.
Yeah.
They say it's him. I don't think so, but whatever.
KCP had about like 45.
Nah. It was Corey Brewer had a 50-piece, and that to me was it.
Bad.
To me was it.
That's bad.
That was the one where I said,
Corey
nah.
Brewer, a Laker guy though, man. So
Nah,
we gonna show him love,
I said that was the one where I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's bad.
But yeah, so next question. This was kind of, again, switching over to the mental health aspect. I know I spoke with you about our convo when you were in Egypt and after that contract and stuff like that. So I just want to ask you just about the mental health aspect of the game. And I feel like we don't talk about that as much. I know we talk about how lonely it is overseas, like you said, about how they deal with injuries and how it's a business. But was there any moment where you kind of fell out of love with basketball, or it just wasn't fun to you anymore? And I talked about in the last episode of just how when you realize that it switches over to being a business, and how that's such a hard switch to make because you always play for the love of the game, and you realize it's not carried that way.
Yeah,
not
not at that level, no.
So,
I mean, Egypt was a turning point in my life. I'll say that to the least. Like, before that moment, I had never respected mental health in athletes.
100%.
Before, like I
There's
did.
always that time. Yeah.
Like I do now. And mind you, as an athlete, mental health isn't respected enough, as you said, especially not a male athlete, because mental health weakness is viewed as, let's be honest.
Yeah, you being soft.
Excuse me, you being soft, you being a pussy, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just not. It's you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that was the first time, that I ever realized that mental health is real. When I was in Egypt, I was having like panic attacks, bro.
I was gonna say, tell them a little bit about.
I was having panic attacks, bro. Like, I couldn't sleep. I was restless. I couldn't do anything. Like, mind you, I played in DR. I played in Canada. I played in Spain. Spain was kind of like the Egypt, but Spain is obviously nicer. Egypt it's a different culture. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really go out. You can't drink. You can't socialize with women. You can't talk. You can't do anything really other than do this and do that. And it's like an 8-hour time difference.
Yeah.
And I'm a big family man. Even though I live in Florida, my family still lives in Charlotte. I talk to my mom every day. My mom has a job. I can't talk to her every day when it's 2 o'clock for me and it's 2 a.m. for her type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was really hard for me, and that was the first time I ever experienced that mental health is right. Like that is like a very key component to what you do as an athlete. And it's like I said, it's not respected enough. I try to vouch now because I've been through that. Nat, my ex, is a real big advocate for mental health. She does all that. She is all about that life. And I never respected it when she used to talk about it until I went through it myself.
Yeah.
And they say that's a big thing because you never understand what it is until you've been through it. And when I went through it, I understand that shit is no joke, bro. Like, I was not mentally right at all. Like, I was like sick in the head. Like, I was like, I can't do this. Your mind starts wandering, all this, and I had to leave. I ended up buying my own flight out of there.
I know, I remember that.
Yeah, I bought my own flight out of
that.
there. I didn't even tell them nothing. I just left. I was like, I literally can't do this. Like, I feel like my well-being is in harm.
Yeah.
And it goes from all the overseas stuff to being lonely, to being you have no freedom, to being there's nothing to do. It's just basketball, crib. That's it.
Yeah.
And especially, and no disrespect to Egypt or other cultures or how they live. Everybody lives their own culture. Everybody lives their own life. That's fine. But I live in South Florida. So to go from living in South Florida.
The trap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To go to living in South Florida to going to Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never been able to not get out of, bro, I used to, like, it's over now. I used to drink the days before games.
We was gonna talk about that, but
we'll go over that later.
You
We'll
beat
go over
me
later.
to
But
it.
you know what I'm saying? It's
You
like,
beat me to it.
yeah, it's like you telling me that in my contract, now mind you, I still had a girlfriend at that time, so it said in my contract, it said no fornication or speaking to women on top of no alcohol
Like
or
that
weed.
cultural stuff is different,
just
man.
like,
People
damn.
think it's a joke,
Yeah.
bro. Like, and they take that stuff with all the utmost
Yeah,
seriousness. It's
like
not
if,
even
like,
no-
like there was legal things that I was gonna face if I would have if I would have
100%.
drinks, if I would have talked to girls, and it's just like, wow, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying, and it's just I wasn't ready for it.
So would you think that at that moment, and again I kind of alluded to this earlier, but was that the moment where you feel like, did you fall out of love with the game? Have you ever fallen out of love with the game? I feel like I haven't reached that moment yet. I feel like people think when you stop playing, you fall out of love with the game, but I don't agree with that. So was there a moment where you fell out of love with the game, where you just like, you know what, like, this isn't the game I grew up playing?
It was that experience.
Yeah.
Now when I fell out of love with the game for a while, like when I left there, I didn't touch a basketball for 2 months.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Mind you, this is me where anybody that knows me will tell you I live, breathe, and bleed
Exactly,
basketball.
100%.
Like, there's no day I don't touch a ball at all, and I was like, I'm done with it. Like, I don't want nothing else to do with it, nothing like that. And that it was that experience and that situation that put me through that. And I was just like, this is a job. It's really hell. Like, I felt like I was living in hell from that moment. So I was like, I can't do this shit no more. And like, I was getting coaching offers after that time. I didn't want to be around the game at all. And I had to sit back and grow up and realize, you know, this is what I love. It was just this one experience, and you have to separate this and that, and that's part of growing up too.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the first time in my life. What I always, you know, you always say, "Oh, you by yourself," and this. That was the first time I was alone. Like, I had nothing. I
had mine. I swear I had mine in college too. That's
yeah,
always you always get that moment where you're
I
like,
had
dang.
nothing. I had nothing. Even when I went to Lynn, I moved from Charlotte, but I'm from Orlando.
I was about to say, yeah.
My
Your family would always come
yeah,
down.
Exactly.
Like,
So that was the first time I was alone. I had nothing. So it was, you know, it was hard, and I fell out of love with it for a long time. Like 2 months I didn't touch a basketball, and then Coach O, St. Andrews, offered me a job to coach JV, and I was like, you know what, let me try it. And as soon as I picked the ball up for practice, I was like, man, what am I doing? Like,
yeah,
I'm
still
an
love this
idiot.
game. Still love this game.
I still love this game.
Of
So
course.
I coached them kids, you know, I helped out with that. Then I ended up getting a call to come back to DR, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it one more time to go out on my terms, because I felt like it was taken away from me in Egypt, because there was a lot of background stuff, you know, a lot of lying, you know how that business is. But I had to go out on my own terms, and I did it. And I was like, yo, I can't believe I really let that one situation make me think that 24 years of the game was just a waste.
Just gonna be
you know,
100%.
yeah. So I did fall out of love with it, but I quickly realized I was an idiot for that. So.
All right, now we're going into the pre-recorded tidbit, as we say. This is just talking about, kind of like we said, the clothing brands that we want to shout out and just give recognition to. So today, I'm wearing an article of clothing, a shirt, no cap shirt from Born Real, which is one of my favorite teammates, John Smith. Shout out to John Smith. This is just his clothing line that he started, and I really respect him because he's out there in the community. He hosts events, food drives, whatever it is. You call on him, he's there. So shout out to him. Please, if you're looking for any articles of clothing, anything to kind of donate to or sponsor, it's bornreal.us is the website, and it's just bornreal on Instagram. So shout out to John Smith. If you have anybody to shout out.
I'm gonna shout out my dog Brandon Ellis, man. You know, he got a clothing line he's trying to take off. He's famous on TikTok, famous on the gram. Zero Brandon Ellis on Instagram. I think it's the same handle on TikTok too. Follow him, man. I tried to get his brand today so I could rock it today because his shit's cold, but I was coming back from out of town, so I ain't had time to go get it. But
that's Brandon's fault, man.
That's Brandon's fault, but it's all right, man. I'm gonna still give my dog his just dues.
And then we're going to go into topic 3, which is just another topic, and this is interesting. We kind of alluded to it earlier. This is actually a tweet. We're going to post a tweet on the video, but it's a tweet that Mike James, one of the coldest hoopers who was in and out the league, killed the Euro League. But he tweeted something that talked about, and I'm going to read it. It said, it's crazy to me, people that do get opportunities and some people that don't. It's really about relationships, luck, and right place, right time. Skill is often an afterthought. And so I want to ask you, because again, like you live this, I have my own opinion. We actually tweeted about this and talked about it because somebody tweeted something similar, and we were like, nah, I don't think it's just that. But do you believe in that statement? Do you believe in the whole thing where they say, like, if you're good enough, they'll find you? Or do you believe that it is a combination of luck, skill, relationships, and the right connections?
I actually get asked this question a lot, and I think we talked about this on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't want to say it's both, because at the same time, I know a lot of cold dudes, bro, that didn't make it.
100%. That's what I always talk about, especially down here in South Florida.
And when I learned that about a business, and they say as you grow up, your parents tell you this shit 100 times over. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
100%.
And that shit is tenfold true, because I've experienced it, I've seen it, I went through it myself. You know, one of my closest friends was C.J. Bryce, played at NC State. Motherfucker averaged 13 in the ACC. My dog still don't have a job right now.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about he should be in the league.
100%.
He can't find an overseas job, and Buddy's a stud. So like it's just and mind you, Mike James is cold. There's no way. I don't even know how many people on the roster in the league, NBA 15.
Yeah.
Well, how many 30 teams? I don't know the math on that, but there's not.
There's like a little over 300 in the league at a given time.
I've seen the rosters and I've seen players. There's not 300, 350 people better than Mike James.
No.
Mike James is cold.
One of my favorite hoopers out there, and it was just his birthday.
Yeah. And
shout out Pierre Jackson, first of all. And
Pierre
the same
Jackson
thing,
cold
I always
too.
tell his story because interesting. He played everywhere. Played in the G League. Literally, you could look this up. Broke the G League scoring records. Averaged like 37. Went to EuroLeague, did the same thing. Got a call up for the Mavericks. Averaged like 11. Literally got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They gave the position away to Yogi Ferrell,
Yeah.
and he never got another stunt in the league. Just like that.
It's crazy.
Simple enough.
It's crazy. I have another experience just like that. My dog Ramon, another home.
Yeah,
another,
crib.
Yeah, another buoyant baby. Yeah, another hometown hero. But he played with me just in DR right now, man. He got a start in a little stint in the G League, and then he ended up getting hurt. And he was talking about it on the Grammy the other day. We talked about it when we was in DR.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Ramon's cold, bro.
Bro, Ramon.
Ramon's cold.
And again, everybody who's from South Florida, you'll know exactly. But and it's not even like, I feel like some of the hoopers who's cold, you're like, oh, well, maybe they just didn't, have the right numbers or whatever. Ramon went USC, hooped.
Yeah.
Went to LaSalle and hooped. Got into the tournament, hooped. Like I said, G League, film is out, hooped. Yeah. And it's just crazy to me, like.
No, that he don't get no
nothing
shot.
stuck. Same thing. I know he's always talking about, like, how the agents ain't look out for him. He had to kind of fend for himself and getting contracts and deals and like stuff like that is just mind-boggling. But like I said, that just shows you how like
that goes back to what we were talking about.
It's a gauntlet, bro.
Yeah,
like
so
it's not even. It has nothing to do with
bro.
talent. Like So like I said, I agree with the Mike James tweet. Like skill is often an afterthought.
It is.
Connections will take you way further.
Connections will take you anywhere, and it's just crazy that goes back to what we were talking about, how it's a business. That's the same shit that applies in the real world.
Yeah.
So you got motherfuckers that's been qualified their whole life to do this job, but this is so-and-so's or the CEO's cousin's baby mother, whatever, and then they get the job. You know what I'm saying? This is how it goes, bro.
That's all I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like most of the businesses that you see, I think it's like, I don't know the stats, don't quote me on this, but I know it's over a good percentage of them, they implement word of mouth hiring. So that means that it's not even qualifications. I bring my homie on, he get the job. He gonna have no skills, no qualifications, but he gonna grow through the company, quicker, faster, better than somebody who has all the qualifications but doesn't know nobody who works there. And again, basketball is the same thing.
It's the same thing, bro.
I mean, who I guess your agent, whatever it is, and we'd even go into the agent thing, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
There's good, there's bad agents, there's people who ain't really advocating for it, there's people who doing it for a check, there's people who's just trying to steal your bread. So it's just, I feel like people just don't understand the hoops you got to jump through to actually have a long, successful career. And that's why the people who have a long, successful career, even if it's outside the league, they deserve so much praise because, again, you don't know what they had to do to get there and stay there. You know what I'm saying? Those people know they should be in the league. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy to me. Like I said, I feel like we don't talk about it enough, but instead of, highlighting them, we always say, oh, well, they weren't good enough or whatever it is. But like I said, when you played against them cats, and like I said, I'll take Moan against a lot of people I done seen play, like a lot.
No, I told Ramon all the time, me and Ramon we didn't even have no beef. That's my dog. Not even saying no beef, but He's like, Ramon's older than me.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's like a big bro, little bro stuff. So we had a little disagreement stuff, but I always said, bro, Ramon is cold. Like, excuse my language, cold. Ramon cold as fuck. Like, he could play, bro. And he older now, so I think that window kind of closed a little bit, but he should have had more of a fair chance.
100%.
Yeah, because he can go. So
now we're gonna go into my favorite section, the Family Feud section. Once again, later on we're gonna actually do polls on the social media, but let's just say we surveyed 100 hoopers, and we're gonna ask them certain questions, and Mike's gonna answer them for us. We're gonna see if y'all relate to some of these answers out here. First question is, what was your most devastating moment in your basketball career?
there's just so many moments where I'm like,
Every hooper done had them too.
yeah, I'm like, damn, this shit was the worst moment. And then another moment comes, I'm like, damn, this is my worst moment. I think definitely, obviously, top two, maybe not even two, has to be when we lost in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I was there.
I
was there.
That was the last moment of my college career.
Yeah.
But I think the hardest moment of my entire basketball career was at Lynn. At Lynn, we were playing Rollins at Rollins. It was just when I had cracked the rotation.
Yeah.
So I was, that junior year where it was a hard struggle. That's when I started playing, big time minutes. I had like 16 and 7. We go up. I was shooting like 93% from the free throw line or some crazy shit, bro.
Oh, you muffed him.
And if you, bro, if you,
I already know where this is going.
If you watch any of my games, I get a lot of free throws up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're in the huddle, blah, 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 we talking. Coach Price is like, yeah, so if Mike misses these free throws, then we'll do this. Everybody's laughing like, ain't no way in hell I'm missing these free throws, you know what I'm saying? We go, boom, I hit the first one. Boom, we go up 2. I go to shoot the next one. Missed that bitch back rim. I was so shocked that I missed it that I stood for a second. They go down, boom, pitch it back. Buddy hits a 3.
Trail 3.
Trail 3, game winner. I sit there. That was the only game in my entire life I ever cried. Mind you, that's how you know how invested I was into that shit because, bro, we were like a 500 team at best at that time.
Yeah.
And we lost the game, which in retrospect, it really meant nothing, but it meant so much to me. I'm sitting there crying and shit, bro. Like, I'm just like, damn. Because I was putting so much pressure on myself at that time that, like, this is fine where I got it. And then it's like, damn, back to the mental health shit. You think, all right, damn, it's over. They're going to take my spot away, blah, blah. And that was the hardest moment for me. Like, I was crying. My whole family was there because I'm from Orlando. It was there. Yeah. And that was probably the roughest moment in me for basketball in my whole years. And it was crazy because it really meant nothing.
Yeah, in terms of the long
it meant nothing. But that was probably the hardest one I've ever had in my life for sure.
Yeah, similar for me, dog. I feel like, luckily for me, mine was in high school because if that would have been the end for me, dog, I would have been sick.
Yeah.
But junior year regionals, we played at American Heritage Plantation. Mm-hmm. And crazy enough, because this team was freaking loaded, dog. So they had Drake Lamont, 6'9", big. He actually was the Mavs player development coach not long ago. I think it was like 2019. Mm-hmm. Kobe Eubanks was the Texas A&M. Keyshawn Evans with the Illinois State, and they had the twins, Justin and Jason, Massey. Mm-hmm. And so we playing at their house, crazy game, close game. Again, I'm a junior, so I'm feeling like, you feel me, I'm that dude. We had a timeout, and I swear to you, and still to this day, I'll die by this, bro. I did not hear Coach say in the huddle that we had no more timeouts because it was so loud in there, bro. So we get out.
I know you ain't C-Web it, bro.
Bro,
I know you ain't C-Web it, bro.
So regionals, dog, regionals. So we get out the timeout. We had a good play. Crazy, born real, kicks it to me in the corner, and I should have just shot it. And I don't know why I hesitated, whatever it was, but I hesitated, and I got in trouble. They came and trapped in the corners, obviously dead corner trap, and I called a timeout. And once I called it, I heard Keyshawn and them say, "Wait, they got no time. They got no more timeout." I swear to you, my face dropped. I said, "Oh my God, I done blew."
You just
want to
run out there. You just want to run out of there. You like,
I wanted to cry right there on the
face.
court, bro. I wanted to cry right there on the court. So they hit the free throws. Crazy enough, we saw another chance. I got to steal, full court, pass it down for a layup for our big man. He missed a layup. Like, other things happened, but like, to me, like, that was it. Like, that was. I remember I went back on the bus. I got on the bus. I remember Coach was like, "You know what? You good. Like, learn from this. You good." And My teammates tried to rally around me, dog. I remember I put my face in the seat, dog, and I bawled. That was the first time I bawled. I bawled against senior and we lost before going to stage 2, but I cried my eyes out. And like I said, crazy enough, like, in the grand scheme of things, it really didn't mean nothing.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it meant nothing.
It meant nothing to me. Like, we could have gone to state and lost the first game. Like, well, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But at that moment, that was the literally worst time of my life, bro. So then going on to the next question, what was the worst loss you ever took? You don't even ask me this question because in middle school, shout out Bach and SOA, but I went to School of the Arts. Dog. we was taking 50 points for lunch. So that don't count. But what was the worst loss you ever took?
Does it have to be a blowout or can it just be like like?
No, it could be somebody hit a game-winning 3 that just took your spirits.
So the worst loss I ever took actually just happened to me about, when was I in DR? That was 5 months ago maybe, 4 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
We was in DR, a game that we should have won. They passed me the ball in the corner. I don't know if it was Ramon or the point guard, Miguel. Dribbles the ball out, they trapped him, passed it to me in the corner, right? I'm in the corner. I hold the ball for a second. I couldn't see the shot clock. This is how overseas shit is so fucked up. The shot clock on the other side don't work. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this shot clock. I can only see the corner of it. So it said 5. Really, it said 15. But I only saw the 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to do something with this. So I go to try and rip through and go to the basket. I go take a step. I trip, fall, turn the ball over, right? Boom, they go get a dunk, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They do this. And they ended up scoring. They go to overtime, whatever, they win the game.
Yeah.
That was the worst loss I ever took because I'm sure people tell you overseas culture is different.
Yeah,
like,
100%. Yeah.
It's like it's if you lose a game, like they just see one thing. So that was the most pivotal moment in the game, even though I really had no contribution to us losing the game. Like they're like, oh, he turned the ball up, so it's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the worst loss because we needed to win that game and we didn't end up making playoffs. So that was a big game that we needed that would have clinched it. But it was also bad because that like Dominican Republic is a third world country, you know what I'm saying? It's poverty stricken, all that. So like that shit means a lot to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in those tournaments, like the neighborhood funds the teams. So I had to go out after that to go show love to the fans, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm walking down the street, these motherfuckers is booing me. They throwing shit at me.
I was gonna say, that thing is different, bro.
They're throwing shit at me. No, fuck you, this, that, cussing me out in Spanish. They don't know, bro. I know Spanish, bro. I know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, damn, like, that was the hardest loss for sure, because, yeah, we just needed that one, and that was the hardest loss I've ever took in my life, and it's crazy because I played 24 years of basketball, and that shit happened 4 months ago. That was bad.
And this is one of my favorite questions because I feel like it means a lot. It's a 2-part question. So who was your favorite coach? And it could be for any reason. And also, have you had a black coach? I feel like especially as black athletes and just people, I didn't notice this because, again, my high school coach was black. Mm-hmm. And so, like, he literally turned me into the kind of player I was. Yeah. But a lot of people grew up never having a black coach. Yeah. And I feel like that's just a big, and even now I feel like, I call it diversity hires, because I feel like every team and program is trying to get somebody in there because most of the athletes are black, you know what I'm saying? So who was your favorite coach and why? And did you ever had a black coach growing up?
I have 2 favorite coaches for 2 different reasons. Okay. So my AAU coach his name's Adrian Calhoun. We were inseparable, bro. We had like a father-son relationship, and you know I went everywhere with him. Like he was just, that was the time. Like, you know, I got a good relationship with my dad, but my dad was working a lot to make sure that I could play basketball and do shit like that. But me and him were inseparable, man. He was like my best friend, like my dad. He did everything for me, and I could not talk to him every day, but he just meant so much to me. He was black. He was a black dude, and I talked to him. Last time I talked to him was like 3 months ago. Before that, I hadn't talked to him in 2 years. His godson, which was my best friend growing up, he got shot and died a couple months ago, and we talked about that. R.I.P. to my dog John, that was my man's. But I talked to him, but he was probably the most important coach to me emotionally and everything like that. Yeah. Like, he means more to me than anything else. He's family, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
But I think my favorite coach is Coach Price, because
of course.
Because he's done so much for me as a person. Like, he was the first person that put basketball. Well, actually, Coach Adrian did it too. But basketball was here. Raising you as a person and a human being is here, and we met in the middle. You know,
And
what
that
I'm saying?
always separates the good coaches from just the average.
That relationship is great. Like, I coach for him now.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, I would do this shit for free because I just feel like I owe you so much because you changed me as a man, as a person, and what you mean to me is inseparable. Same thing with Coach Adrian. But I think those two are the most important coaches to me. But Coach Price was there for me when I needed that figure. And when he was there for me the most was right around the time my grandfather had passed away, which was the most devastating moment of my life in my 24 years. He was my best friend, my everything. Coach Price was there for me, and what got us close was I lost my grandfather around the same time he lost his dad. So that brought us very close, but I think I said it earlier, if he was 40 years younger, he'd be my best friend.
Yeah.
I talk to Coach Price every day. Like, he means so much to me that that feeling and that tie is just it's so inseparable. Like, I love him with everything I have, and I owe him a great chunk of my life that I was on a path of the same thing that junior year where, like, not my life was in danger. But
Yeah,
like,
no, but hey, that's real though. Like, I mean, self-destructive path, like for real.
I was in a make or break situation, and he chose to put his resources into making me the man that I am right now. So I owe him everything. The same thing with I owe Asia. They did the exact same thing, just at different points.
Exactly,
in my life.
100%. Yeah, I agree to that. I feel like for me, two coaches, different points. My high school coach, Coach Powell, because he was the first person who kind of instilled the work ethic in me. I feel like it's different when, like I said, you kind of growing into your own, but ego comes into play. But he's the first person who was kind of like, nah, like leave that at the door.
Yeah.
But he was young enough, so he was like late 20s when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So he would still play with us. And again, like I said, especially as like an athlete, like I'm used to a certain type of play. He was in there talking trash to us.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter, who you were. Like leave your ego at the door. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me that was big. Yeah. And so even, throughout high school, even just how you fostered like my getting to college, it was never, I'm gonna guarantee you this. Like it was, hey, like I still laugh about this because I'm like, dang, it's so different now. Like he told me like, hey, like you want to get seen? He's gonna get the media room. You make your own highlight tape. He's gonna give me the film. Like he didn't stay in there with me. Like it was like you grab this, you feel me, like by yourself, but never coddled me, but always saw the potential in me. Always held me to a high standard. Yeah. And I feel like that's what I needed again, especially making the jump from high school to college. I feel like college was so simple for me in terms of like adjusting to adversity and stuff like that because of him. Like I tell people this to this day, and again, I hope he don't get in trouble for this, but my high school workouts were harder than any workouts I ever had. Like college was a breeze compared to high school. Like we were in the summer carrying teammates up bleachers, like flipping tires, bear crawls 10 yards, 10 push-ups for the whole field. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was just because of the kind of standard he set. And then my college coach, Coach Bunch, he's going to smile when he sees this, but one of the most unlikely heroes I ever had in my life because this dude is a country dude from Tennessee, has nothing culturally, the same as me. It's me and my teammate from Florida, so we're the only ones. My other teammate from Alabama, my other teammate from Memphis, but we're a few from the South. But culturally, it's just so different. I went to school in the Midwest. And I feel like he helped me so much because he never asked me to change who I was. Yeah. I'm going to team dinners in my golds, do-rag off the bus, and it was just, pull your pants up, look presentable, be respectful, but he never asked me to be anything different. And I feel like that helped me so much in the years where you're growing up to be a man and trying to find yourself. So shout out to Coach Bunch. We talk all the time too, that's my guy. We still have a group chat together. Every time I go to St. Louis, which isn't often, but if I go, I always make sure to pull up on him. But those two coaches are easily my favorite coaches ever. Yeah. And I feel like we don't kind of give credit to the coaches in our life because I feel like coaches are the biggest influence outside of your home. I feel like we always credit 100%. Teachers, but I can't even think of a teacher who influenced me close to as much as my coaches. So shout out to them and appreciate all the coaches.
Your coaches and your mother, man.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like it's
and my mother's my right hand.
It's
so.
Same, man. Everybody who knows me knows that.
Yeah, I'm a
mama's boy to the team.
Yeah, I'm mama's boy to the team.
But so that's what I'm saying. So like I feel like, if you're a coach or if you're doing anything with coaching business, man, like please don't underestimate the impact you have on these kids' life. Like I said, I feel like I owe the man I am today Obviously, you know, most of my parents, but easily half of what I am today to my coaches.
Same.
So definitely appreciate that.
Yep.
So picking it back up, and again, every hooper has started this. This is one of the big questions. Pre-game routine, music or no music. I can't speak on this because I was in charge of making the the pre-game mix for the team. I was big on this because like what I hear before the game like completely changed my mood. Yeah. So were you a music or locked in from the jump? And if you were a music person, what did you listen to pre-game?
So first, before I said before a game, I never locked in, and it was always so detrimental to my team because I play around before the game where I could laugh right into the tip, and as soon as the tip ball goes, I'm in.
Yeah.
But everybody can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say everybody definitely don't got that.
Yeah, and I always used to get in trouble for it because it would rub off on my teammates, and then they couldn't do the same. They didn't have the same switch. But I definitely listen to music before the game. Every time I start listening to music about 2 hours before the game. So I don't want no judgment on this podcast.
Please don't say.
I have to, bro.
I feel like you're gonna say.
I have to. I don't want no judgment, but I listen to a couple artists before the game. First of all, I listen to some slow shit too, cause I got that Take Care album.
That's okay though.
Before
That's
the
fine.
game, but you know I gotta listen to my dog 6ix9ine before the game, man. Hey, look.
But we do not co-sign this man on this podcast,
hold
please.
on. Before we do this, my opinion on him has changed because you know he be doing a lot of different shit out here. I do understand to a certain extent why he be doing some stuff. We can talk about that later though, but at the same time, I can't switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to him and his music do serve a purpose. So I listen to him. I listen to Lil Baby. I listen to a lot of Drake. Now I start listening to Pooh Shiesty before games because you know Pooh Shiesty cold. But I listen to music before the game for sure. 2.5 hours, 3 hours before. I got a certain playlist I listen to all the way up into the game.
And then my favorite question. This is pretty much a program question because I know how I was, but y'all were a little different. I mean, I'll say the question first and kind of elaborate. But the question is, during the season, are you locked in, or were you a go out and still handle your business on the court type of person? And again, like I said, I feel like, and also I wasn't in sunny South Florida. I grew up here, but I didn't go to school. I went to school in St. Louis, so it's a little different. If I was in South Florida, I would have been completely outside, 100%. And so I feel like that kind of helped me because the options were, you know, go downtown or go to a few house parties, whatever it was, but they weren't as appealing to, you feel me, going to live on Sunday or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how did that kind of affect you? And I know some people can make the switch. I know I got teammates who will go out on a bender the night before and, you feel me, come to the game, alcohol still on the breath, and will be completely fine. I know other people who, like, you can always tell, like, bro, you had a bad game, like, you were out last night. So, you know, how was that for you? And again, I ain't gonna allude to it because I was kind of there for some of it, but.
Yeah. So look, man.
Wait, remember the rule on the podcast. Do not incriminate yourself.
I ain't gonna incriminate myself,
Do not incriminate yourself.
But the people need to hear the real me,
All
man.
right,
So,
go ahead.
Look, not everybody can do it. And
yeah, it ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody.
Sure.
It ain't for everybody. If anybody know me when I was in college, I was a wild boy. Man. You know what I'm saying? I was out here with it, man. So, you know, like, I ain't gonna lie. I had a lot of stress going on. So, I did a good job of making sure all my schoolwork was done and all that stuff. You know, I had somebody help me with that. You know, so everybody know. You know, shout out to Nat.
Hey, shout out to them, boys. Help me graduate.
That's my dog, man. Hey,
help me graduate.
She got like 7 degrees, bro. Hey, we're gonna talk about that later. But I was a person, I had to have fun. I was in the gym. We had 2.5 hour practice. Yeah. I did, you know me. I was a gym rat, so
yeah,
I was in the gym another 2 hours myself, so I had to. So I used to be, you know, I used to get lit, dog. Like we played in the NCAA tournament, which is in the spring. We live in South Florida, you know, that's spring break time. So it was my senior year. I'm like,
I still remember that.
I said, you know, I could
I'm
do
at the
it.
game.
I could do it. I was going crazy that game though.
I know.
Wait, what game are you talking about? Because I'm talking about Florida Southern in the tournament.
Yeah. I remember that text.
Yeah, shout out to the people, man.
I remember that text.
I had 2 Four Locos to the face the night before. And if you know Four Locos,
first of all, y'all probably one of the only people I know as a team who drank those so
we love the Four Locos,
I don't
dog.
understand. That's rat poison. I ain't never touched them things. But y'all were like 4 lifers. Y'all were 4 local 4 lifers.
Yeah. So, Coach Price, I know you're going to watch this, so don't hate me now. I didn't go out with nobody from our team. So it was
that makes it much better.
Yeah, it was just me and a couple of people I didn't know from school. I had 2 Four Locos to the face the night before. We played an NCAA tournament the next day, Florida Southern. I had 35 and 10, and we won. And all before, right until we went to the game, dog, my head was ringing, dog. Like, I'm talking like my shit was blurry, dog. I couldn't, I'm faded, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still faded. Your sun in the lake, you know what I'm saying? And I did, and I was lit, but, you know, I still handle my business. And at the end of the day, like, I'm not condoning this for nobody else because everybody ain't me when it comes to that thing, but I mean, I handle my business, so what can you say? You know what I'm saying? But
it worked out for you.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. I don't condone it for everybody else because everybody's different. But I was always the one like I had fun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Honestly, I felt like that was your whole team, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna put nobody out, but hey, the whole team.
They don't know who's on the roster,
yeah.
but whether it was a winner or loss, dog. I remember always getting that text.
Yeah, I ain't saying.
Hey, we outside tonight.
Where you at? Yeah.
we gonna decompress.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. At a function.
Yeah. I did a lot that season, man, but I needed it, bro. It was a stressful season. It was a stressful time in my life, and I always told myself if I couldn't do it, then I would stop. But shit, I was getting lit, and I was still handling my business too. Like, you know, I never stopped. So yeah, I definitely get lit during the season.
As always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for coming on this journey with us. Hope you enjoyed this episode with my boy Mike. As always, as we're going to say, please follow us on the socials, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you got to do. The Instagram is unrestrictedFA_pod, and the Twitter is unrestrictedFA1. So please show love, reach out for any advice you need, whether it's on overseas, whatever it is, the journey of getting there, the jump from high school to college, whatever it is, we have either done it or know somebody who has, whatever it is, training, any kind of advice you need, please don't hesitate to reach out. And our sponsor message, Mike is going to say it. It's kind of just the backbone of our podcast and what we want to kind of emulate and do on this show.
I just want to say I appreciate you again for bringing me on, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to all the people that helped bring this together. You know, shout out my dog Nate, Perseverance, Sonny, you know, let us use the facility. Just make sure y'all are doing everything y'all got to do on an everyday basis. Make sure you check on those people that don't always ask for the help, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know what somebody's going through, especially in the kind of climate that we're in right now. How, you know, there's COVID, there's job loss, there's a lot of emotions going on every day. You never know what's going to be on somebody's mind from day to day. So, you know, check on them. Make sure you tell your mother, your dad, you love them every day. Reach out to those that you care about. And, you know what I'm saying, just pay everything forward the same way you want somebody to do it to you, you know what I'm saying? Because life's short, so you got to make sure that everybody that you love, don't let them go a day without letting you know that you love them, you know what I'm saying?
And then crazy going into that, we're going to go into kind of sponsor message. And obviously as it gets further on, we're going to have more sponsors. But this one's kind of my shout out. And crazy how you said that. This one's shout outs to my mom, her nonprofit, my backbone, my heart. She has 2 schools in Haiti. Amazing schools. We're actually currently building the new school building. It's going to be a state-of-the-art facility. So this is a sponsor message for Bright Initiative. The website is brightinitiative.org, and as we know, they just got hit with the earthquake. I mean, they're never lacking from a hurricane or whatever it is, so they always need help. But just a shout out to them. Appreciate all that they do. Of course, I've seen it firsthand from its infancy to what it is now. And again, Save the Art building, they had a 100% passing rate on the national exam, so they're doing everything that they can because education is kind of the way to make change in Haiti. I feel like it's very much needed. So shout out to Bright Initiative. Website is brightinitiative.org. You can sponsor a student, whatever you got to do. You can just donate. I'm always posting. Everybody who follows me knows I always worry about my mother. That's kind of just a thing. So please, if you get a chance, just check them out. I feel like the work speaks for itself, so whatever you got to do. Brightinitiative.org. Same thing on Instagram, Bright Initiative. Please shout them out, look them up, and see if there's any way you can kind of give back and or donate. All right, as a unrestricted free agent tradition, we're going to ask you a question. I know you're going to say yes, and the crazy thing is I've seen you do this in like 2 shots, but as you can see,
it's a little different of a night, yeah.
We've been sipping, so it's going to be a little harder. So the question is, you got 5 shots from half court. You got to make 1 out of 5. Again, this is hypothetical. You would get $30 million or whatever it is. And if you miss all 5, you get 30 years in jail. Would you take the deal?
First of all, there's nothing I fear more in life than prison. But I'm a risk taker, man, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go for that meal. I'm going for it.
All right, well, we finna line it up right now. This is a good exclusive, because like I said, we've been off the drink. So if he can't make it now, dog, it's over for him. But if he makes it now, bro, he's stamped. He's official. So cheers for that, and may the odds ever be in your favor. Signing out. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, quiet, dog. Y'all finna get. Oh, I forgot to give y'all a shout out. I got you. I'ma do it in the camera at the end, bro. Boo this man. Hey, go ahead.
Ready? All I needed was one.
Oh, hey, that was.
I get a warm up. I only got 4 more.
Hey, you straight. You
All right.
got 4 more. 4 more. Hey!
All I needed was 2, man. All I needed was 2, man. I told you, all I needed was 2. Come on.
Hey, shout out to the bitch mom.
Stop playing with me, man.
Shout out to the bitch mom over
Hey,
there.
shout out to my best
They was
mom.
hating
That's
over
all I
that.
needed,
That's a wrap.
man.
That's a wrap.
That's it. That's
Cut
all I
it.
needed.
Off the lick, too.
Hey, for
2
real,
off the
for real.
lick. Oh, come on, bro. No, bro, get off the court, dog. Get off the court. That's a wrap, bro. Get off the court. That's a wrap. Hey, that's tough. Hey, that's low-key tough.
Hey, that's valid, man. For real,
That's
for
low-key
real.
hella tough.
I got so much, so many dreams, so many things to hold up. So many things on my mind. So many things
That's some real
shine.
That's a real. Hey, I'm about to give y'all a shout out. Hold on.
Which part you talking about, bro?
No, I was trying to wait. He said give it 5 seconds. I was trying to wait. I was like, hey, listen.
You want me to say something
No,
else,
no,
man?
no, I was trying to wait. I gotta give it some time.